Asian markets, they're trading more or less high early this morning following the positive close that we got on Wall Street.
Markets will never understand if you just act for the sake of populism, but if it is a larger interest because of a compelling situation that develops, I think that's a rational, logical thing which markets will also tend to understand.
Big trade would come if you buy the dips, but the recent high of 10,985 remains Lakshman Rekha for me.
0.17, 0.2 higher now on the Sensex. The Nifty is up 17, 18.
The biggest allegation is that it wasn't declared as a related party up till the FY18 annual report.
Probability of a rate cut from the Reserve Bank has increased going forward.
Down around 12, 13 odd points for the Nifty, and we have the mid-cap index, which is down around 0.2% as well.
Here is a publicly listed company. Money is going into a company which is controlled by the promoters.
Jio's network is fully 5G ready.
10,895 is where we are on the Nifty, about 10 points lower.
Okay, very volatile on the index, but one thing which stands out is that the market is getting more and more narrow. It's about Reliance. We'll discuss this, but Reliance really just one stock which is keeping the bulls in the game. Mid-cap index down quite a bit. This is closing bell. I'm Anuj with me. Yes, Surabhi. Hi, Surabhi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Anuj. Also, a clear hallmark of today, and I guess so far January, underperformance. India continues to underperform. Even global markets today. And we are still struggling around this mark. How do you look at this recovery from the lows? Does it inspire any confidence?
Look, I'll tell you one thing. This is a market in which you buy it at 10,850 thereabout. And you sell at around 10,920, 930. Reasons will come later. If you buy at 10,930, extrapolating the move, you will be in trouble. If you sell at 10,850, extrapolating the move, you will be in trouble. And the market's given you this message so many times that, it's now almost even the market will be saying that, hey, look, I think the market's rewarded you. If you bought the dips and you've sold the plunges, it's done well. It's rewarded you. I think for me, the big takeaway of today's trade is this contribution plate. Yes. Once again, Reliance 42 points. Okay, you may want to argue. No, let's get back to Nifty, please. We are discussing Nifty here. You could argue that, okay, similarly, Sun Pharma is also a bit of a watershed event. So 13 points contribution from Sun Pharma. Even if you net them out, there's a bit of a narrowness in the market. Look at the mid-cap index. It's an index which is already underperformed. This, the Bank Nifty is very close to its all-time high. It doesn't look like a market which is near all-time high. This is a market which in the broader market sort of is struggling quite a bit. Almost every second or third day advanced decline. It starts at about 2:1. By the time it closes, it's at about 1:2. There's a phrase called distribution in the market. We're going through a distribution phase. What is distribution? Where, the large cap indices are not falling much, but beneath the surface, you're seeing a lot of, mid-caps underperforming. There's smart money giving up some of these mid-caps. I think we're going through that stage. Perhaps I'm wrong, but this is not a healthy market where, one or two stocks take the index higher or keep the index higher, but the mid-caps are not performing. You need a broader move for the markets. Right now, that's not happening. So I think if you're a compulsive trader, you have to keep doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Every time you go to 10,850, buy it. Every time you go to 10,920, 930, sell it. And I think that's how you make money right now.
It's astounding. It's not even a 100-point range now. It's coming down to an 80 point range. I mean, that's the index for you. And if you net out the strong show from RIL today, then the Nifty's, of course, look would have been very, very different for the session. Anyway, we will be discussing these trends. Let's get started. Here's what's lined up on closing bell today. The market has managed to recover about 50 points from the day's low. Sun Pharma down to a 6-year low with the whistleblower concerns persisting. Telecom stocks like Bharti, Airtel and Vodafone fall 5 to 6% as Reliance Jio does not comment on any future price increases. We will be discussing a lot of these stocks, a lot of these trends with the fundamental experts. Abhimanyu Sofat, Vice President Research at IIFL, and Deepan Mehta, member of both the stock exchanges, joins us on the show. NIIT Technologies came out with a pretty decent set of numbers for the third quarter. We will get the outlook from the CEO, Sudhir Singh, in just the next couple of minutes, so stay tuned for that. Now, how will the market fare as we are running into the budget and, of course, also elections around the corner? We ask Deepak Jasani, Head of Retail Research at HDFC Securities. And, of course, lots of trading ideas coming your way, as always, with Ashwini Gujaral and Sudarshan Sukhani.
Okay, in fact, how should you position yourself for this last? We got Ashwani and Sudarshan with us for that. Good afternoon. Ashwini, all over the place, very volatile, mid-caps underperforming. Your thoughts and what would be your stock calls?
Well, if you analyze the total market, banks have been clearly losing momentum. They made a high today, but momentum indicators did not confirm. Nifty next 50 is 330 points down. If you take Reliance out and a couple of more, there is nothing in this market, and I won't mind buying puts here because it's now a matter of days. If you Reliance is the only thing that's keeping it higher. The day Reliance goes out of the picture, I think you will fall and fall fairly hard. So I think that 10, 850, 950 game could be coming to an end. Today, as you can see from the lows, there was hardly any rally, 20, 30 points. So that way, I would think this market is ready to fall. Now, when it actually falls, probably will need a trigger, some macro news, crude news, whatever. But momentum coming off, momentum often leads price. So individual stocks, what you want to do is Larsen is a sell with a stop of 1340, target of 1285. Asian Paint is a buy with a stop of 1390, target of 1440. And Shriram Transport is a sell with a stop of 1150, target of 1100.
Okay, so more sells than buys on Ashwini's list today. Sudarshan, good afternoon. How do you read this consolidation? I mean, on the index, how do you even trade it now, this 60, 70 point range? And of course, stock ideas for the last hour.
Yeah, good afternoon. Well, the market is doing nothing, and Anuj has already described the ranges for this market. 10,850 on the downside and 10,930 approximately on the upside. Now, this is an 80-point range. This 80-point range will not last. It's happening for the last 2 or 3 days, and that's remarkable. It cannot continue for a long time. Probably by Monday, this range will break either on the downside or on the upside. So the trade is really for Monday. Now, today, I would continue to remain on the long side of the market simply because the lows are going up. We had a low at 10,400, then 550, then 650, then 700, then 10,850. Now, that can break. I understand that. And if 10,850 is taken out, all bets for the long side are off. But till then, for today, for carrying positions on, I'm long, and I think that is the trade to be. See, we talked about Reliance today. For all we know, HDFC Bank can report earnings and go up 4% on Monday. Suppose that pushes the Nifty again. So let 850 be taken on the downside and then close long positions. Till then, be long. Individual stocks for me are therefore mainly on the long side of the market. Titan is a buying opportunity. The stock has been outperforming. M&M is a buy, again an outperformer. So in this choppy market, we are looking at outperformance. And my favorite, Bata India, which keeps on making new highs. I have a short sell, that is Tata Steel. You can go and short it today, and the chances are metals will remain weak.
Fair enough. Let's do one thing. Let's address some earnings now. NIIT Tech reported a strong set of Q3 numbers with constant currency growth beating estimates. However, lower other income led to that net profit missing estimate. But overall numbers do look good. To discuss the numbers and outlook going forward, we have Sudhir Singh, CEO of NIIT Tech, now joining us. Sudhir, hi, good afternoon. Decent numbers. Now, the issue is your guidance was double-digit growth in revenue on constant currency terms for FY19. You've already done 14.3% for 9 months. Does that mean that the obvious question, raise the guidance to at least low teens?
So, well, you're absolutely right. We are far ahead of the plans that we had shared with you earlier. We don't give guidance, but we do share plans. Where we are at the end of Q3 actually is 17.3%, not 14.3%. 17.3% growth in constant currency organic terms over last year. So we feel very pleased about it. We feel very pleased about it not only because the results are good and the numbers are solid, also because these have now been sustained for a while. So good set of results as we see them.
Okay, good set of results. But it would be fair to assume that this 14-15% for full year is also possible, Sudhir, right?
See, at the end of Q3, we are now at 17.3% growth, as I said.
Mm.
We've also said that we think that we can maintain our momentum. We don't give guidance. We don't give formal guidance. So I can't actually put a number to it, but I'm pretty sure you can draw your own inferences given where we are already, which is 17.3% growth.
Oh, yes, I think that's it's quite clear that that's the number that the market should believe would be the case. Now, margin is the other thing because your margin is very strong for this quarter, 18.7%. The market was expecting 18%. You had guided for 18% to be the new normal. Could it be 18.5% going forward?
I'm not very good at playing this game, and I apologize. I have a bad throat, so you might have trouble hearing me. But you're absolutely right. 18.6% is the margin. 18.6% for a mid-tier firm is quite clearly, for mid-tiers, best-in-class margin. And as we said last time, we think given the way in which we are managing our operations, the way in which we've driven productivity, the way in which we've been able to go and secure rate increases, we think that on an annualized basis, in the years to come, 18% should be the new normal when it comes to operating margins for us.
Okay, 18% would be the new normal. So here, before I talk more business, I just want to get one issue out of the way because there's so much of speculation in the media as well. This is a question we're trying to put to NIIT as well, but from a CEO's perspective, has there been any communication from current promoters about what their intention is with respect to their stake in the company, the 30-odd% that they hold?
We've all read the same reports that you have. And on this subject, as you know, we do not comment on such matters.
But absolutely no conversation at all. Have they communicated anything to the board? Because there's so much of speculation. Unfortunately, we're not getting clarity. Shareholders are not getting clarity.
I'll just go back to that earlier refrain. I really have no comments on this matter.
Okay, fair enough. Then, okay, let me, get this back down to business. 18% margins being the new normal. Just give us some color on the deal pipeline because you've been doing a great run rate as well. This quarter as well, 165 is what we're looking at, 165 million, building on last quarter's performance. What are clients saying right now and, where's the bulk of the action?
So this has been the 7th consecutive quarter of order intake going up. $165 million, the number that you quoted, was the order intake number for this specific quarter. Our large deal pipelines is robust, extremely robust. Our order executable is the highest ever, as you would have noticed, at $375 million. And across the 3 verticals that we focus on, the pipeline is almost evenly split. The large deal funnel that we are looking at is robust across all 3 of those. So we feel good about where the travel vertical is headed. You would have seen the numbers. We feel very good about the insurance vertical, which now for 4 quarters has been sequentially growing 9%, 10%, 11%, and this quarter 9.6%. And we feel extremely confident about the BFS space as well. So if I just quickly summarize it, the large deal velocity is good. The large deal velocity is good. The overall pipeline gross weighted and qualified appears good. And we feel good about the momentum that we have created and our ability to be able to sustain that momentum.
Okay, fair enough. Now, we have to be nitpicking at times and also point out the negative factors. Just, this attrition, 11.65% versus 10.78% quarter on quarter. That's a worrying point, and it's something that we have seen for some more industry players as well. Your thoughts on how to contain it?
Our attrition.
Yes.
Our attrition, let me just lead with that, is one of the lowest, if not the lowest.
Yes, it is, but it's gone up quarter on quarter. No, as I said, I'm just nitpicking. Perhaps have to point out some negatives, so that's why.
No, you're absolutely right, and I think we should nitpick together. But if you look at the, and I apologize for my voice, but if you look at the last 3 quarters preceding this quarter, our attrition was 10% or slightly sub 10%, if I remember right. So the current number at 11%, I know it's about a 70-80 bips increase over last quarter, is not a number, honestly, that concerns us at this point in time. We feel good about the employee engagement. We feel good about the employee morale. And we do feel that we have a very engaged team that is also enjoying the momentum growth that we see across revenue, that we see across margin, that we see across large deal flows across the company.
Okay, all right, Sudhir, we will leave it on that note for today then. Thanks so much. Good luck with your plans. That's a good quarter at NIIT Tech. There is news on Sun Pharma as well. Anuj, yeah.
No, that is a good quarter, but NIIT Tech is the most expensive mid-cap IT stock, and it's for this reason, Surabhi. For last many quarters now, it's consistently delivered on numbers. I think, like we said, it's hard to pick holes in these numbers. There's very solid margin growth, there's very solid dollar revenue growth, constant currency growth, and I think the management is very conservative. So that also, helps, not going out and saying that, okay, we are going to increase guidance and, something like that. Yeah. So that's something I think the market likes. But yeah, it's an expensive stock, perhaps the most expensive in the mid-cap IT, but for a good reason.
Okay, that's NIIT Tech for you. By the way, Sun Pharma is not saying too much. Let me just quickly read out their statement. They're simply saying they haven't received the whistleblower's complaint, so they can't comment on it. It's really not a clarification. Maybe we should change the way that's stated, because there is absolutely no clarification from this company on whatever is going on.
No, I think even this is good enough, because, you're just coming out and saying that, from my point of view, the silence is something which is, which was, hurting the street more. As of now, they're saying that, okay, they've not got it. At least they're coming out and making some statements, Surabhi.
Yeah.
I think that is important.
The other thing they've referred to is this vicuronium bromide injection, where there was a recall, some particulate matter found in samples. So they are again reiterating that this product has negligible contribution to the company's consolidated revenue, so it doesn't really impact financials, but we really need to get to the bottom of this. And I just wish that even SEBI sort of comes out and at least gives some directions, because otherwise, the stock has just been in a free fall today. Yeah. Some recovery from the lows. Neither is a regulator telling us anything, nor is the company really saying anything. So shareholders completely left in the dark. Anyhow, on that note, I think we need to take a very quick break. Okay, before we do that, let's get a conversation going with Abhimanyu Sofat of IIFL. Abhimanyu, the stock at hand, Sun Pharma 10% down. What would you do with it?
So right now we have a reduced rating on the company, which is more to do with whatever is happening on the US market, generic market, as well as we feel that the margins going forward will be lower. Coming to, what issue we are seeing in terms of, this whistleblower thing, it is very difficult to comment unless management comes with a proper clarification. I think so the letter which has been given to the exchange, the way they have answered in a very brief manner, those questions, it's difficult to say that, nothing is hunky-dory about the company. So let's wait for the full clarification. I think so over the next 1 week, the document ideally will be available to the company, which has been talked about by the particular website. And once the clarification comes, then only I think so one can look at it. In terms of risk reward, I would agree that the stock price from multiple level looks very interesting. However, I would wait for the final clarification before recommending it to clients.
Okay, for now I think it's seeing some buying from lower levels. I think perhaps it's the case of risk reward. Also, what you had in the morning was a waterfall decline. I think that got arrested somewhere around 380. 380 is the last time also where it bottomed out. So for now, it's my sense is that at 380, Surabhi, there's again some big buyer who's back in the market to buy Sun Pharma, because and if this issue has to boil, it has to become bigger, then all bets are off. But for now, I think this 370 to 380 zone. Last time also it bottomed out right at around this zone of 380. The only issue is that the entire 1 month rally was taken out in just a matter of 2 hours. But I think from the low levels, there's a bit of a recovery that you're seeing. Some part of that could be short covering, because in the morning a lot of shorts which could pile onto Sun Pharma. But the low of the day is being defended, if that is any comfort to those holders.